Welcome back. Let's turn our attention to a small IT company which is on our radar right now, Saksoft. Let's get the intraday chart up for you on your screen. The company has been reporting steady numbers, today higher by close to about 6% for the last 2 financial years. The company has reported nearly a 10% growth in its revenues. Its return on equities has been steady at close to about 14 to 15% and margins around that 13-14% mark. Niraj Ganeriwal, the CFO of the company, joins us on the phone line now. Hi Niraj, we've not covered Saksoft that closely for the last few quarters. If you could just give us an update on what exactly the company does, who would be your key clients, what is the niche that you operate in, and what are the key revenue drivers for the company? Because everyone talks about, IoT, AI and digital, etc. But what does Saksoft do differently?
Sure, Rima. Thank you. And just to give a brief, Saksoft is focusing on the new age technologies. Like any other company, our focus is around the digital services, and our specific focus is around certain verticals such as the fintech, the healthcare, the transport and logistics, e-commerce, retail, and the telecom and the B2B space. Now, in all these spaces, we do very specific offerings around the application services, the digital testing, and the latest BI and analytics related services. Our revenue drivers have been around these factors only.
All right, Niraj, in the last few years, from FY13 till date, you've moved from around 160 to around 285 crores odd. For the coming year, what kind of top-line growth are you looking at? Can you expect that 10-12% that you have been doing? And also, I wanted to get, I was looking through your presentation, and you have nearly around 90% of your revenues coming in from US and Europe. So the rupee depreciation is good news for you?
The rupee depreciation is definitely good news for us, because as you've rightly said, 90% of our revenues are from the US and the Europe. In terms of the performance for the current year, whilst we do not give guidance, but we are very confident that our growth is going to be aggressive in the near future, and it's going to be better than what we have done in the last 5 years.
How many deals have you won in, say, FY18, which are in excess of $1 million? And how would it compare with the past?
So in terms of, as you've rightly defined, we are a small and mid-sized company. So in terms of customer base, we have around 5 customers who are more than $1 million in revenues for us. So our deal sizes are not very large, but, they are smaller in sizes, and we work with a concept known as dedicated teams. Nowadays the concept is agile teams, and the customer is actually paying for agile teams and not for the products which you're actually offering. So and 90% of our revenue is repeat from the existing customers. All
right. Niraj, a few more details. You said that weaker rupee is good for you. You have been doing margins of around 13.5%. Do you expect to hold on to that? Can you improve from here?
We do expect to marginally improve as we go forward, because in the last couple of years our margins have slipped down and then they have come up because we've been doing a lot of investment in front end on feet on the street. So we would expect that the margins will improve marginally as we go forward.
With what, 50 basis points, 100 basis points, what is it? You're doing around 13.9% now, I think.
Yeah, between 50 to 100 would be a realistic estimate.
Okay, 50 to 100 basis points, margin improvement aided by the rupee. You're also looking at strategic acquisitions. Very recently, you upped your stake to 80% in one of your subsidiaries, Dream Orbit. You're looking to raise it up to about 100% as well. Take us through the investments that the company has outlined for acquisitions. Or the war chest?
Definitely. In terms of our acquisition strategy, we call it as the string of pearls strategy. And our acquisitions are not for top line. We very clearly acquire companies for capability. 3 years back, we had acquired a company called 360 Logica. That had helped us in strengthening our testing capability. And the Dream Orbit acquisition has helped us in getting into a vertical of transportation and logistics and the IoT space. So we constantly keep looking at companies who are mid-size in the 5 million to 10 million in size. And if we feel that it's a right investment, we do go ahead and invest. We don't have a large war chest, but if we feel it is right, we definitely don't mind going ahead and shaking hands with them.
Your finance cost for the past year was around 5.5 crores. So you'll have some small debt in your books. What would that debt be? And also I wanted to ask you, I'm looking at the BSE and your promoter holding has come down from around 73% to around 68%. Has the promoter sold or is there some reclassification?
Sure. So just to answer your first question, in terms of debt, we have a small net debt in the books of around 25 crores. This has been used for a couple of acquisitions which we have done in the past. And in terms of the promoter holding, it's just a reclassification because in the last year there has been some guidance from SEBI in terms of reclassifying the ESOP trust related holdings from a promoter holding to a non-promoter non-public. So the ESOP trust in the company holds around 5%, which has been reclassified from the promoters to a non-promoter non-public, resulting in the percentage coming down.
Okay, so for FY19, you're targeting a 50 to 100 basis points margin improvement. What's the revenue growth that we should expect realistically?
To be very frank, Rima, we don't give guidance, but as I've said, you should be able to look at a growth which is better than the current year.
All right, and the other thing is your dividend payout ratio has been good in the past. You know, I think last year you did a EPS of around 21 and you paid out around 3 rupees 50 paise. That's something you're looking to maintain, a 15 to 20% dividend payout?
Yeah, so, we have improved our dividend payout from almost 20% in 5 years back to 35% in the current year on the face value. And our board is very much aggressive in terms of the dividend payout. So if the profits keep growing, we definitely believe we should be able to maintain or improve it.
Okay, Niraj, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining in. That is Saksoft, betting on digital, artificial intelligence, automation, IoT, etc. We'll slip into a very short break.